there's so much that goes on. And, we are all type A, I feel. And so when you get a bunch of type A powerful women in the room, what happens, right? We bump heads. But we also learn to love, and we have a lot of fun all in the mix, which is great this season.
Hi, Mia. It's nice to finally meet you. My name is Jared Alexander. I'm from the Griot. How you doing?
I'm good. Nice to meet you, Jared. Thank you for having me.
Of course. This is so great. I actually was at BravoCon. You were one of the only people I missed on the carpet. I was so bummed about it, but I got to go to the panels, got to kind of see you around. Let's just start off. Talk to me a little bit about this experience. I mean, talk about a fan event.
Oh my gosh. BravoCon was wild. It was amazing. It was everything. It was funny because I was talking about this before. I didn't exactly know what to expect, right? I've never been to a BravoCon before, just period, right? And so when I walked in, I was like, holy cow, okay, so we're doing, let's have some fun. It's nice to have all the fans like in one spot, and just to connect and to have fun and to just have a chance to like talk to them. I think it was great.
Yeah.
I would do it again.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like with you in particular, I was thinking in my mind, you kind of joined on the heels and still in the midst of the pandemic. You kind of joined this experience. So I feel like it was nice to kind of be able to see you in the mix. And I'm sure for you to be able to see other Bravo celebrities, other housewives and stuff.
Why? Like, wait a minute. Okay. Yes, I see you. You're in front of me. No, it was nice. It was really, one of the things that I really enjoyed was meeting the OGs. All of the housewives who are no longer on our screen that we fell in love with years ago, like really decades ago. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are still here. And you are like, they're stunning. Like Cynthia is stunning. Phaedra, stunning. I'm like, oh my God. Vicky, I was like, girl, hey, honey, you still got it. Everybody it was amazing to see everybody. And then the love that they give us, right? We have a lot of respect for them, but one of the things that I noticed is that they have a lot of respect for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we follow your lives. We are really invested, in so much of you guys. And I have to say again, all of BravoCon was great, but there was something about that Potomac panel. I mean, people were like lined in the walls in the back. It was such a packed room. And I feel like you guys really have a sisterhood. How do you feel kind of moving into this show with one season under your belt and, you being able to grow with these women?
I am having a great time. I feel like I've always been here. Right. I'm like, okay, these are my girls. Hey, first season, I wasn't quite sure about any of them. Second season, I'm like, okay, you guys are kind of stuck with me. So just get used to it. And I was also able to be more myself with the ladies this time. And so, we have built our own little relationships outside of what you guys get a chance to see. And I think it's nice. One thing for sure is that I'm never going out dancing with Ashley ever again. My knees are not that young. I was in the bed for days after hanging out with that girl. Okay. And it's funny because she was riding around in my kid's car seat all night. The fact that she could fit in my kid's car seat, right? So we had fun for sure.
Yes, she had you guys. I mean, not the last episode, the episode before though, there was a lot of dancing going on. A lot of keypads.
The TikToking and all. I was like, okay, girl, I'm a dancer, yes, but I'm also retired. Okay, so my knees are not the same. They're not the same.
Absolutely. And of course, let's dive into a little bit. You have a huge personal storyline this season. We're very happy to hear, I think as of now, that everything is looking okay for you health-wise, and that is amazing. And with the past few episodes, I feel like you've been really tested in this group in terms of who you can trust with certain information, how they talk about it. There was a really interesting scene with Giselle at the dance event. So talk to me a little bit about how you're doing right now health-wise, and also how that's been kind of navigating within this group.
Yeah, so health-wise, it's interesting because it's funny because actually just 2 days ago I was in for a CT scan. So if I get emotional, bear with me. But the problem is that I'm still they're trying to figure out what's wrong. Right. And so while I'm grateful that it's not cancer and there's no sign of cancer, thank God, because cancer is not anything that you want to play with. Gordon is a cancer survivor himself. So it's really, really challenging to have all these girls come at me when I was the one that was taking care of a cancer patient. Trust me, I respect it. I don't never intentionally wanted anybody to think that. And no, this honestly wasn't for them, right? Social media was supposed to be like my outlet because I was scared. I don't know what I'm going through. This is what they're telling me. We don't know. And here I am, we're done filming and I'm still in it and I'm having to relive it. And I'm like, hey, doc, can you guys give me a diagnosis already? And preferably something that's curable, okay?
Yeah.
And so it's really hard because my family is affected currently and my kids are concerned, especially my 14-year-old. And he has to watch these girls like question me and they're like, Ma, they have no idea. And I like, just let people think what they want to think. People are going to have opinions and they're entitled to their opinions. And, this is a part of life. This is unfortunately comes with the territory when we want to be transparent and honest with people. It always gets scrutinized and that's okay. It's okay. I don't have an issue with them like questioning it. Like, I think that because of the posts and because I did go back and say I have not been diagnosed because I realized people were going down a whole rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, Mia has cancer. And I'm like, okay, wait. That's not what I was saying. What I was saying was that I'm going through something and today is not promised. It's reminding me to live, live, love, and forgive is really the message that I felt like I was receiving in that moment. And I wanted to share that with everybody that, tomorrow isn't promised. And so with the ladies questioning me, it does hurt. It does. But, hey, they're entitled to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that is something, again, that is really powerful about having this platform. And it seems like that was something, even though it may not have been clear to the women at first, that was something that was really in the forefront of your mind, being able to use the platform that you have, sharing this information, because a lot of people go through this and have tests and don't know and wait a really long time. So it really, I think, goes appreciated that you are being so transparent and open about that on a national stage when most people don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to change that about me. If I'm going through something, I have decided that you guys are going to know it. Okay. All right.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Because we love the drama, don't get me wrong, and we love the shade. But I think, like we talked about at BravoCon, why the fans really connect to, we follow your lives and we care about what goes on and find those points of connection.
Absolutely. We're all human.
Yes. And interestingly enough, I feel like there's way more to see in this season that I'm super excited to watch. But already we kind of see the dynamic shift. Again, like you had an interesting conversation with Giselle. It seemed like she gave a good apology for you in your mind. What can you tease me?
I was like, wait, what? I'm sorry. No, that's not what you're supposed to say. But okay. She never apologizes for anything.
Yes, I remember seeing it on your face. I was like, oh my gosh. So to kind of wrap up, because I have one question left. In terms of the dynamics with this group, again, we just saw that with Giselle. Seems like in the trailer, there's a lot of tension, maybe with Wendy, maybe with other housewives. What do we have to look forward to in terms of where the group ends up from where we are now in the season? Because it seems like a lot is going to change.
It's so much that goes on. I can't even begin to we need a whole nother interview. Okay. That's going to be like a coffee wine date. Call me later because let me tell you, there's so much that goes on. And, we are all type A, I feel. And so when you get a bunch of type A powerful women in the room, what happens, right? We bump heads. But we also learn to love and we have a lot of fun all in the mix, which is great this season because I felt like because of COVID, we weren't allowed to have so much fun first season. I was like, why do you girls do this? This is not fun. But this season we have fun. We get to do things. We're out and about. We're traveling. And there's a lot of tears. There's a lot of laughs. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. Okay. I'm trying to tell you. So just tune in. It's crazy, it's wild. And I hope you guys are enjoying the show as much as we are. And thank you for always supporting us.
Yes, of course. Listen, like you said, a lot. That is like music to Housewife fans' ears. So we're definitely looking forward to it.
Oh, it's a lot. So I hope you guys enjoy.